Hello and thanks for tuning in. In this session, I'd like to introduce you to a basic setup combining a source and the display so we can actually watch our favorite shows on television. So the main principle here is that we have a source, as I said before, which could be a digital receiver, a satellite receiver, or it could be a DVD player, a Blu Ray player, a DVD recorder, for instance. Basically anything that generates our source or our signal. With signal we mean any audio-visual content, or sometimes it can just be audio, like a song. So anyway, these are our sources here, and all we want to do is to send our signal from the source to the display, to the television. The thing is with these days is that we not only want to have a great picture, we also want to have a great sound, digital sound. And in order to have this digital sound experience, digital surround sound, we need what is called an AV receiver, which is this big box over here. So what we need to do is, now we need to send our signal from our source through the AV receiver to the television, to the display. And that's what I would like to look at first. But also let's look at the different cables which are available to do this job. Let's look at some traditional cables first. And remember, we are looking at two signals which have to be transferred, the video and the audio signal. Let's start with this one here. This type of plug is called RCA, and this particular cable here is called composite. The composite cable is a very basic connection which gives a reasonable quality but has been superseded for quite some time now. So you see the yellow plug here is for video, white and red are for left and right hand channel. So this is a one-stranded cable. Then next came along a better quality with two strands, which is our S-video cable. And S-video offers better quality than the composite. That's how it looks like. So that would be the next choice for connecting the video signal only. This particular cable here, you see there's three, blue, red and green, and it's called a component. The component cable is able to transmit high definition signals. So with this one we actually can achieve a fairly good quality, but it's not digital yet, but it's pretty close. So if you don't have an HDMI enabled device, in other words, you can't connect HDMI, this would be the next choice, the component. So one cable I should mention is this one here. This is the antenna cable, the good old traditional antenna cable, which connects your receiver or television set to the wall socket for the antenna. Let's look at the audio cables. Now the audio connection, we already had the first cable showed us left and right channel for the composite connection. So when we only have a video connection, like using the component and the S-video cable, we need to connect the audio separately. And there's two main ways. This one here is either digital coax, which is again an RCA type cable, or the optical fiber or toslink cable, that's how it's called. So this cable transmits the sound using light. of course, one more cable here. We've got the internet cable, Ethernet, if we want to connect any device to the internet. Along came the HDMI cable, this one here. And the HDMI cable, high definition multimedia interface, combines all of those other cables, well, except the antenna cable. So this cable is capable of carrying audio and visual digital high quality signals, and that's the one we're actually looking at when we want to connect our system now. So let's connect the source to the display. In other words, let's establish a connection between our digital receiver or video DVD player to the television via the AV receiver, our surround sound system. Most devices are pretty much the same when it comes to the connections in the back. And here you can see a typical connection you might find on the back of a DVD player, Blu Ray player, or a set-top box or receiver. So let's have a look at them. Over here, these three, we've got the composite connections. The yellow one for video, red and white for left and right channel, audio, analog, as opposed to digital. So that would be the most basic connection. And if you can avoid it, yeah, just avoid it, because the quality is not that great. Next one we talked about was the S-video, which is here. Most days, or most cases, we don't need to use this one either. Then the composite, if you are stuck with HDMI and you're one of your devices hasn't got an HDMI socket, you might just have to go for the composite, which offers a fairly good quality. We also have the digital sound here, the optical and the coax. Those two types of cables are shown at the beginning. And that's necessary if you don't use the HDMI, because the HDMI carries both video and audio. So let's say you are stuck with a component then which only carries the high definition video signal. You would actually connect the component here, which is the output. So the signal travels from here into the AV receiver or television. But also you would need to use either the optical or the coax sound connection for your sound. Right. We have our HDMI cable here. So let's connect it. So from our source into the AV receiver. This is the back of our AV receiver. A whole lot of sockets there and colors and things. Well, thanks to HDMI, we don't have to worry about most of the stuff. We just look at the HDMI inputs and outputs. Let's see if we can zoom that in a bit. Here they are. So you can see we've got two inputs, one for DVD, one for a digital receiver, let's say. Could be any other device really, any other source. So we've got two inputs here from two sources. So let's say from our DVD player, put that one in there. From our DVD recorder or from our digital receiver in there. And then of course the signal needs to go to our television set. So in other words, it needs to come out of the AV receiver. It says out here. So another HDMI cable in here. looks different, it's black, but it's nevertheless it's an HDMI cable as well. So the signal goes in here and comes out here to our television set. Okay, let's complete our installation now. We are at the back of our television set. Let's have a closer look. There's quite a few inputs there as well. Luckily we don't need all the ones on the left hand side, they're all the analog inputs. We've got also a PC input there, and also slightly underneath a digital audio output in case we need to send our sound from the television back to our surround system. Well, we won't even need that one because we've got our new HDMI cable with audio return. Anyway, let's just connect it. First of all, the antenna connection, either directly from the wall or from a box. Next, our HDMI connection from the AV receiver. Let's go into HDMI 1. I've got two inputs here, but we only need that one because we've got all the other inputs in our AV receiver. So we've got 3 or 4 HDMI inputs in our AV receiver. We can connect up to 3 or 4 devices. So we've got 2 which are now channeled into our television via our AV receiver. And that's it. We're done. So we are ready to watch our favorite show on television or our favorite DVD. Just one thing I'd like to mention is if your Blu Ray player can connect to the internet, our HDMI cables support this function as well. They've got Ethernet capability, of course, so you will be able to watch your online videos on your big screen. No worries. Anyway, thanks for dropping in, and I'll see you next time. Bye.